Online, our biggest levers that we pull are emails. Email is strong, and content marketing. So we've created a lot of content, especially with when the shops were closed. We had some time on our hands to build some stuff and get some new skills. So we started. Knifeware started a YouTube channel, and you can go and see some crazy videos of that are very amateurish, some of them, and some of them are much better.
Like, we started selling this product out of the trunk of our cars.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Inventory management is about balance.
Get the product out. That's number one.
I've always preached sustainable growth.
So we just started building community.
Look at the data.
Product development is everything.
Yeah, we say we're a brick, click, and pop.
But you have to love what you do.
When we start a lot of our live videos, sometimes there's a little bit of a lag. So I have a joke book, Dad Jokes. And I often read from the Dad Jokes book, and I find that moves things along pretty quickly.
Excellent, Kevin. Do you want to read us a little joke there to get us underway?
Here we go. Here's a dad joke here. Do you know much about Switzerland? I don't, but their flag's a big plus.
Yes.
There you go. That's a gem.
Where did you get that? The book?
I got it as a gift.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Ooh,
Stays my office
wait.
here.
I have one as well. What did the baby corn say to the mama corn?
Ooh.
Where's popcorn?
Oh.
I'm a sucker for a good dad joke.
I got a book for you.
I'll have to add it to my Amazon list.
All right,
The best in
everybody.
dad jokes, broadcasting live to you.
I actually have a little dad joke book here too. I don't know if it's the same one, but can I see the cover? I've been a dad for 2 years now, and I got it as a gift a couple of years ago, and it's here somewhere in the office. But everybody, why don't we just get started here, and I'll figure out this live stream in a second here. So thank you for those who are here in the webinar today. This is the first session of our new Black Friday speaker series. So we're going to be doing a session every Friday at the noon hour here in Alberta. I know we have people from all over the world, and I can see Lauren from United Kingdom join us. Thanks for coming in. But here in Alberta, it's noon, and we thought it'd be a good time to talk about Black Friday over the next 7 weeks as we lead up to retail's biggest season. So thank you everybody for joining us for our first session. And today we are very, very, very thrilled to have Kevin Kent from Knifeware. He's like the knife guy, and you're gonna hear all about his knife stories and stuff like that in a minute. We'll hear about his Shopify store, and we're also really excited to welcome. Kevin, you want to just say a quick hello before I bring up the other guests?
Hi.
You heard his dad.
I'm the founder and CEO of Knifeware, which we specialize in Japanese kitchen knives. We started that about 13 years ago, and we also have another group of shops called Kent of Inglewood, where we sell things like men's grooming, straight razors, safety razors, and lots of axes.
Excellent. Can't wait to hear more about these axes in a second. And also another guest that we have here is a good friend of Socialite. So our agency has gotten to know Varun Chopra very well over the last, I'd say 18 months or so. We went out in Calgary. We got to meet with him out there, and he's been kind enough to speak on a couple of our meetups and such. So Varun, thank you so much for coming out and joining the conversation today as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to be here. I'm a big fan of your stores, Kevin. So I'm excited to discuss some things. I actually have a pocket knife here, which is from Kent of Inglewood. So
excellent. So yeah, the Kevin, we're so excited to have you here. I know that you own a couple brick and mortar stores in Calgary and in Edmonton. Why don't we just get started?
Ottawa and Vancouver.
And Ottawa and Vancouver too. Is that just Kent of Inglewood or Knifeware as well?
Knifeware and Kent of Inglewood, all of them. Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we just get started with that? Let's just hear. So I know we're here to talk about Black Friday, but before we even get into that stuff, who is Kevin Kent? What have you been up to? Why are you on Shopify? Let's hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the quick thing. I was a chef for a very long time. I worked in London, England for years, about a decade really. And I bought a Japanese kitchen knife there. And the first time I used it, it blew my mind. It was that moment when you drive, when you've always driven your Toyota or your Toyota Corolla and it's a great car, and you think this is awesome, and then you drive a really nice Mercedes, and you go, oh, this is much nicer. So that was it. I tried a Japanese knife and I bought it on the spot. It was sharper than anything I'd ever used, and it stayed sharper than anything. It's exactly what a chef needs. Fast forward 10 years, I come back to Canada. There was not really any Japanese knives that I wanted to buy here. Like, my tastes had kind of escalated to handmade master stuff. So I started importing a few and then selling out of my backpack. My plan really at the time was to sell some knives so I could afford knives for myself. I wasn't really thinking, I was thinking I want to open a restaurant. I wanted to open a few restaurants. And yeah, in 2007, we just started selling some knives thinking we'll support my knife habit. And it just kind of got out of control, luckily, thankfully. And that was 2007. And by 2013, we opened the Kent of Inglewood stores. Apparently I like sharp things. It's again, razors and safety razors and straight razors and axes and pocket knives and all the men's grooming products. And that's kind of what's brought us here. We finally opened web stores that were really working. We kind of were dabbling with web stores and really having a hard time. We finally landed on Shopify, and it's been great since then. So thanks.
Awesome. So is that like the Kent of Inglewood is on Shopify? Everything's on Shopify?
Both shops are, yeah. So we've got, like I said, we've got shops in Edmonton, Calgary. I'm in Calgary. So we started in Calgary. So Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, Vancouver. We've got bricks and mortar shops, and then we run the web stores out of the Calgary warehouse here.
Were you lucky enough that your first online store was with Shopify, or did you try something else?
No. I can't even imagine why anybody bought knives from us at first on our first few websites, but they were very primitive and very like no pictures or few pictures, and nothing worked and lots of problems. So
awesome.
I like off-the-shelf solutions now. I'm like, oh, Shopify, great. Well, then we buy Cliveo, plug that in, something else, and plug it in. It's really a good system for us.
What year was that you started online? And like, was that a new?
Probably 2009.
2009.
Probably
Okay,
2009.
So, and what year did you get on Shopify?
I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
4 years
ago. So have you seen some pretty good, like, are you like, one of the biggest buzzwords around the Shopify offices? I don't know if Varun can vouch for me on this one, but it's like this omni-channel presence where you know, if you're a brick and mortar, you're also selling online, you're doing pop-up shops, you're kind of like everywhere your customer is. Is that an experience that you are seeing? Like, or are you more weighted on brick and mortar, more weighted online? Is it kind of like a combination of both?
You know, for us, it's always been a mixture. Like we were doing omni-channel before we knew what that was. We were just trying to get out there. So we've been doing pop-up stores. We're at farmers markets. We've been online for 10 years now, or 11 years now. We have the bricks and mortar shops. We do lots of things. I've even gone and done, I call them the Avon shows, but I've gone to people's houses with knives and do that. We've done people at people's offices, teach them how to sharpen, that sort of thing. So we've always been very big on having lots of channels, like lots of fingers in pies. And like, to further the thing, we've made documentary films. I wrote a big book about Japanese knives. We're just trying to push it further and further, because we want really successful retail stores, and we've got really great staff that want new challenges, and a lot of them bring something new to the game. So if you see YouTube now, you see a lot of our great new videos, because we've got a guy in Vancouver that we can send him 4K footage from phones. As long as the sound's good, he makes great videos out of it, which has been fantastic. Sorry, I don't know what you're asking. I just got excited there.
I'll just jump in here quickly, and I guess I wasn't introduced at the beginning. So hi everyone, I'm Ivana. I'm sure you've seen me in the group. Did I read that you were also planning on opening a store in Kyoto?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah.
That's kind of the long-term
plan? That would be a huge win for us. We would like a shop in Kyoto, or maybe Fukuoka, but probably Kyoto. I even know the street I want to be in Kyoto, to be honest. But that would give me a Japanese base, and then we can really do some fun stuff there. We could have blacksmiths come to the shop to visit and on a weekly basis, right? And
Have you been to, I mean, I know obviously travel's kind of difficult this year. Did you get a trip into Japan before kind of March?
oh,
Or?
I'm on my trip to Japan right now. So I usually go in March or April, and then I go in October. So obviously I couldn't go. So I'm doing every evening now. I do Zoom meetings with all the people I need to meet with. So I've been traveling virtually.
Like a lot of us, I guess.
Yeah, this is a no-flight year for me. 2020
Yeah.
is a no-flight year, which is strange.
And usually you go about 2 or 3 times a year? Or?
2 or 3 times a year to Japan, yeah. Usually
like
cheaper.
this is somebody in the who's listening in right now. Lauren said, "Amazing story. I'm with the Japanese stationery. So our store initially funded my habit, and now I'm expanding onto Shopify, and just eating ramen for my dinner from another Shopify store too."
Where's her shop? That's cool.
I know Lauren's in the United Kingdom, and
she's in Cardiff, I believe.
Cardiff, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah, in Wales, yeah. So started off with a passion for Japanese stationery. Now she has a Shopify store selling it. So
it's easy to have a passion for that stuff. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, stunning stuff. I love Japanese stationery. I don't need it for anything except I buy it all the time.
So, we'll shift gears a little bit into the actual holidays. So what the series is all about, and I just want to kind of start this off with, are you thinking about the holidays yet? Is this still something that's like not on your radar? What are you excited about it? Are you scared?
Well, yes, and yes. How about that? We start thinking about our November and December sales and how the whole season's going to roll out. We think about it. We start thinking about it and planning in about January, January and February. In fact, I've already got next year's orders for next year's Christmas with the blacksmiths in Japan.
Oh, wow, you are ahead of the game.
Well, one must stay on top of things. So yeah, we realized that November and December are about 40% of our year sales. So we really need to get on top of it. This year's going to be different, right? Because usually our stores are, like our bricks and mortar stores, are just jam packed with people. And we can't do that this year. We're all wearing masks, and we're limiting number of people to the shops. So I'm concerned about how this is going to work for us. So we're doing a lot of things around it to try to encourage people to shop online, because we can't physically get the number of people through the doors that we used to do. Plus, I don't know if you know about this, but I'm concerned about Calgary and Edmonton, because the Alberta economy is a bit dicey right now. I know that the ATB Bank was saying that they expect the GDP to drop by 9% this year.
I saw that too.
Which is a shocking amount.
Significant.
So I'm concerned, making big plans, and it's going to be a very different kind of year because we can't, like I said, we can't have the crowds of people in the shops.
Have you ever participated in kind of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday frenzy in previous years, or was that never really something that you kind of fully, focused on?
Well, for years, I always just thought it was an American thing, so I just avoided it. I just went, we got Thanksgiving early. Have your thing. We've dabbled in it a few times, but I don't think it really helps build our brand at all. It's just people looking for super deep discounts, and I don't think they're the kind of people that become really strong customers. I think they're just looking for discounts.
Yeah.
So we've never. Just a quick interjection here, because I think like you said something that's really just like stuck out to me. Of course, like 40% of your sales are done over the holiday season, right?
Oh, it's insane, right?
So like obviously you're prioritizing planning for that big 40% growth, and you said in January, February, the year, like as soon as it's done, you're already planning.
As soon as it's done, we take a few weeks off, like 2 or 3 weeks, and we don't talk about Christmas for 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, so
and then we're just back at it.
And so that like so you start like rolling out your campaigning in November. So like whether or not your business is focusing on Black Friday as the time to start driving the holiday sales, like you're gonna do it anyway in your own way.
Yeah, we do something we call a garage sale. So like I said, I go to Japan 2 or 3 times a year, and when I go to Japan, I buy lots of crazy stuff. So I buy handmade, now like I buy experiments different blacksmiths are doing, or I buy knives from a new blacksmith I've met, or one of a kind stuff, or Sometimes we talked to Tojiro recently. They're a big factory. They make really fantastic knives, but they made a big mistake, and they basically put the Hudson's Bay Company logo on the blade of a knife, but they put it in the Canadian Tire box, right? So it's a problem, but it's all in Japanese. So for me, it's not a problem. So we get to have some real door crusher stuff. I think those ones retail for 100, 120 bucks in Japan, but we get to sell them in our shops at the sale for like 60 bucks, right? So it's a great knife, and if you can't read Japanese, it doesn't really matter.
Are you fluent in Japanese?
My Japanese language skills are embarrassing. I go there so often. I've taken so many classes. I should be, but I'm terrible. So I don't want to talk about that anymore.
It's a tough language. I mean,
you know what? And I've got a guy on staff now. Naoto has been with us for 9 years, and he's turned into He's turned into our Japanese purchaser, but also our cultural ambassador. So he comes with me often with trips, and he helps facilitate a lot of things because he's Japanese, but he's fluent in English and Japanese. He's fluent culturally both. And he's fluent in knifeware, which is really the important part. So yeah, so back to the sale. We get lots of strange things, bring them in, and that's usually in April and then one in November. And the November one's the big one, and that's kind of our kickoff to Christmas. And shortly after that, we have all the decorations up. And this year we're doing the front of the stores because I think everybody had a kind of crappy year. And I think people need to be cheered up a little bit. So we're doing the front of our stores like National Lampoon's holiday or Christmas show. So we're just doing like a zillion lights at the front of the shops and just trying to make it as over the top crazy as possible, just so people might drive down the street and go, oh, that's weird, and maybe just smile by looking at it.
And so this Knifeware garage sale, is this just at the store, or I think you said you did it, like you streamed it online too. So how can you walk us through that?
Yeah, well, it's usually it's in store and online, right? So we photograph every knife. We have the story for it, we have the background, and you can buy it online. But you can buy them in the stores as well. So we split them up between all the stores. But our May one, we did it in June actually this year because there was a bit of a scramble, right? But we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it on the May long week. We couldn't do it in the stores because our stores were actually closed. We were told to close. So we did the whole thing online. So what we did, we used Zoom and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and we did live videos. So it was me and a few other people. We just kind of traded off, and it felt a bit like an old style telethon, and also like the Home Shopping Network. So basically, I had all the knives in front of me, like a whole deck of keyboards that I could play. We had the cameras, and we just live streamed this, and people could come and ask questions. Because people wanted to show up still. They still wanted to buy these knives, but they wanted to hold it and feel it and look at it, and they couldn't do that. So I would do things like this. I would grab the knife. I would say, this is a knife here from Kobayashi, and this is the Damascus. We talk about the steel, and we talk about the funky handle, and I'd show people all angles of the knife and answer all kinds of questions. And we would do that for so people just call in or write in and say, I want to see this knife. Okay. So we did that for about 8 hours on the first day of the sale. The sale goes for a week. So we did that for about 8 hours on the first day. And then on the Thursday, so that was the Monday. And then on the Thursday, we came back and did another 6 hours. And people loved it. Like it was just fun, right? We just had a good time. We laughed a lot and joked around and cut things and ate our lunch and drank beer and showed knives and just kind of all the things we like doing anyway. And of course, the warehouse was busy with orders and stuff. And so we're going to do that again this year. So we're trying to find the balance between how much can we send to the store so there still is that feeling you can go to the store and dig through and hold stuff, right? In a safe way. We got to keep, like I said, we got to keep the numbers down. But then we're going to also have the live streamings again. But I think we might even do, like we'll have it streaming from, like we'll go and say, hey, how's it going in Ottawa? And I go talk to Chris Lord in Ottawa. Or how's it going in Vancouver, and talk to Owen in Vancouver and things like that. We're trying to make it as fun as possible. I might bring my guitar and play very badly. You might get some Bruce Springsteen and some Neil Young and some Grateful Dead, and badly done.
Maybe if we're lucky, you can close out this session with like a little guitar exit.
It's unlikely.
No, okay.
One
But
thing
yeah, or go ahead, Varun. Go ahead, Varun.
Yeah, one thing that you had said is that you generally avoid Black Friday, Cyber Monday specifically, like by name, because it's people looking for like no door crashers deals, not loyal customers. And like you guys do have a lot of like holiday events. Like last year, you put up the tree at Kent of Inglewood. Just before everything shut down, you had a master knifeware from Japan at Knifeware here in Calgary. What is some of the history behind these sort of like community events? And yeah, like where did that start and how does it help your business?
Well, it builds community, right? So right from the beginning, we thought, because honestly, we were selling expensive, handmade artisan knives that are super high performance. So think of them like a Ferrari, right? But you can't drive a Ferrari rough. So most people's knives are like a 4x4. They're very rugged, but they're not very sharp. We were selling the opposite. We were selling ridiculously sharp, but you have to take care of them. And some of them can even rust, right? And they're expensive for what people were thought. So we thought, how can we get out to the community and create a group of people that just think like we do? Because we really love knives. We just think they're fantastic. So we started doing lots of events, just anything that we think is fun, really. So like you said, we bring blacksmiths in from Japan and have festivals around them, and we'll get a local blacksmith to supply some equipment so we can actually do hammering, forging, like forged in fire live in our parking lot. We do lots of customer events where we do, at the Knifeware one, it's always hot dogs and beer, and at Kent of Inglewood, it's always cocktails and Iberico ham. So we get a big ham and we slice the ham, like the cured ham on site. It's fun, right? So we do events like this because we want to create a community of people around us. I don't think we always need the largest ball of customers. We just need a viable smaller group that are really excited about what we do and are part of our team, it feels like sometimes. So we still do lots of reach out. We do live, like I'm doing a live video later this afternoon with Naoto, and we do an advanced sharpening class on YouTube and Facebook. And it's not for everybody, but the real sharpening nerds that tune in love it, right? And they can ask us anything, and we can show them new techniques and stuff. So we do things like that. We've always done it. It's just been fun. Like I said, we made 2 films about our blacksmiths in Japan that won awards at the Edmonton International Film Festival, not TIFF. We weren't invited to TIFF. But we've always had engagements like that. We try to, and plus we're a bunch of old chefs, so we always try to reach out to restaurants too. One of the fun things we do at Knifeware is we call it guerrilla sharpening, and we'll arrange it with the chef there, but we'll kind of show up surprise, 3 of us after work. We'll just kind of surprise somebody and take over the back of their kitchen and sharpen all their knives for free, make a lot of noise, and then go home.
That's really cool.
It's just a fun way to build community.
Yeah, we got a question. I'm gonna try and address this and see what. So Michelle Weldon is asking. She says, "I'm confused, not sure how this is helping us for BFCM." She sent this to the panel.
Oh, sorry.
So, no, this is good. This is good because here's what I want to challenge. I want to make a challenge on this as well. I want to see what you think about this. Okay, so Michelle's saying, how does this apply to Black Friday? Well, one of the things we know for sure is not every business is trying to jump on this Black Friday bandwagon. Like not every business is saying, oh, I just want to discount everything for the sake of discounting it. But we know as an agency who works with a lot of Shopify businesses, we work with a lot of merchants, we're not always looking at Black Friday just as a time to discount. We're looking at Black Friday as an opportunity to acquire new customers who we can resell to for a lifetime. So like the idea with Black Friday is that if you could discount, you're going to get a lot of new people in the door who buy for their first time. And then they're gonna buy your product, they're gonna use it, they're gonna experience that transformation, experience that wow factor, and then you're gonna retain them as a lifetime customer forever. So
let's hope, right?
Yeah, and you're saying maybe I don't want to do Black Friday because you're gonna get the people who are just like they just want a sale. But are you not getting that crowd with like the garage sale because they're just coming for like the nicked up products?
And also and also with the ham as well, because that also brings a lot of people through the door. A ham and a cocktail goes a long way.
Yeah, it does. So what was the question really? how do
my
I
question my question for you is, I think, like, so and actually we had another comment too, and Jolyn said, so there's two conversations happening. One person asked, how is this relevant to Black Friday? And then now we have Jolyn who's asking, this is valuable for us because we've never participated in BFCM nor Boxing Day because we want to keep the value of our product. Yeah. We also feel that giving discounts do not attract the right customers. So, and then I was kind of trying to mash these ideas together and say, like, I think what is happening is you're just taking a different approach, because if you're doing a garage sale and you're selling like the nicked items at a low entry point, you're still actually just attracting people who like the discount for the first time, with the hopes that they're going to use the product, fall in love, and repeat buy in the future.
Well,
right?
and that's when our post-purchase comes into effect, right? So we do a lot, because we think post-purchase is as important as purchase time or pre-purchase, right? So when you buy something, we ship it as fast as we can. It's within 24 hours, generally it's out the door. And then, like with knifeware, for example, after a couple of weeks, and if you've bought a knife, you get a little, hey, how's the knife going? I don't know if you know this, but here's some ways to keep it sharp. So we're a little video, a link to a video to keep it sharp. And here's a blog that might help you with carving turkey, because Thanksgiving's coming up. And listen, we've got people on the website that are always live well, while we're open. But we have live people on the websites responding to questions and helping. So we funnel into that if they're having a problem or something. And this is a great way to get new customers and make them, I think, much more loyal, right? Is to help them out after they buy it. So that's one great way. You get new customers through your sale, either the Black Friday sale or what we have is the garage sale. And that's how we really reach them further.
So that might be some good advice for Jolene, who just said the exact same thing. She doesn't want to do the BFCM bandwagon. So this is like the topic of the discussion right now is like, how do you still start the campaigning before Christmas 2 months in advance without necessarily attaching your brand to like the cheap discounts all the time? Mm-hmm. And this is a fantastic way to do that. I think that's like, it's really cognizant of not going the discount angle, but you're offering value to the customer, because they're getting like the nicked items at a good starting point, but they're getting the education, they're getting the community, they're getting the ham and the cocktail. and then of course, the whole goal is to like retain these relationships, like being conversational and being fun as you are and playing guitar. That's like a human experience. And like, if you can connect on the human level and you like the product, it's the start of a great long-term relationship.
And Kevin, I was going to say, I really like that you mentioned, how important like the post-purchase is, because once things are shipped out the door, that's not like the, I'm done, the sale is made, goodbye. Like that's such an opportunity. No. And like, I'm just curious, how do you get your reviews? Or do you go for reviews?
We use Yotpo.
Okay.
So Yotpo plugs into Shopify very nicely as well. And into our, what's it called? I wrote these names down because I always forget when I'm on the spot.
And they don't always have the easiest names either.
Shoelace. So Yotpo ties into Shoelace and Klaviyo and anyway. So our post-purchase, like I said, we send people videos and we do contact them, and we hope they come back and ask us questions, right? Because sometimes they have a problem, or sometimes there is a difficulty.
What's Shoelace? Sorry, I haven't heard of that one.
They're out of Toronto. They do our ads. They do retargeting. They do some
so they run the ads for you.
And prospecting. And they help us with a bit of content and copy.
Cool. And I think that you guys really see the value of having an actual review as well. So I know it used to be when you...
Yotpo's great. There's lots of reviews. It's perfect. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, just that, like, you guys used to offer like a $5 discount in exchange for a review, which again is going to lead to someone purchasing from you again. And now you guys just have a loyalty program, right? Yeah,
so Cantabingo's got the loyalty program. The loyalty program is great. So it's just everybody knows how they work, right? Because the knifeware stuff, you purchase a few knives and then you might be done, right? With the Cantabingo wood, we sell more consumables, right? So it's great to have a loyalty program. And we found, even just in the store, if we say, hey, let's look up your account, and we say, oh, look, you got $5 in your loyalty program. They go, what? And it just leads to bigger sales. It's, because people are happy. They're like, hey, free money, right on.
And do you know the app that you use for your loyalty program?
Yes. It is one of them. Can't ask me that question.
Sure.
I'm not the manager of everything anymore.
There's like smile.
Oh, sorry, it's
Or...
for Yotpo. It's Yotpo
Okay.
does our loyalty program.
Perfect.
And and we get to send a birthday. We get to send you a message. Hey, happy birthday! It's your birthday today. Here's your birthday bump for points and stuff like that. And all those emails that we send out, because those are such good news emails, right? On your birthday, hey, you got this. Or every few months, an email is just generated and sent out, says, hey, you've got these many points. Do you want to reclaim them? And it's one of those days you're like, oh, free money, right on. And I do need another beard brush, or I do need a pocket knife. So let's spend the money, right?
So this is a major takeaway so far that I'm going to recap and just like hammer this point home, is that whether or not you're doing Black Friday, Cyber Monday, 50% off your entire store, or you're doing some really cool event that's 8 hours and you're playing guitars and cutting knives. And like, I really like this angle, by the way, Kevin. I really think you're on something with that.
It worked great. People loved it.
And whether you're doing that or you're doing the big sale, you're starting a lot of new conversations with this strategy as we lead up to the holiday season, where there's going to be a lot of shopping taking place. So you're like creating a lot of new conversations with a lot of potential buyers, whether you're doing a big discount or doing an awesome event. And I think the big take that we're all learning from you, me too, like I've never heard anybody do an 8-hour live stream event as they built to the holiday season.
It was so hard. I was so tired.
Right? Like, so we could do this, that we can start the conversations with our customers now. And if you're somebody tuning in right now and you're thinking about, hey, this is my first Black Friday, what do I do? I will tell you right now, if you wait until the weekend of Black Friday to start advertising, your customer acquisition cost is going to go through the roof. You're going to lose money. So it's a very good idea to start building up your list now, start warming up your audiences now, start an 8-hour stream event now. we don't want people cutting into Kevin's time, like November first week is his slot.
Yeah, I've got November 16.
But I think it's an awesome idea, and that's something that we're really harping on. It's like, do not wait to the weekend to start selling. Start building your email list, start building up relationships and conversations and warming up audiences right now, so that as you get into that holiday season, you have people to sell to.
Yeah, I also have to say too, because the two brands we have are very different, right? So the knife brand, like a man with a hammer made this, right? And another man made the handle, and they've put it all together. And that's really labor intensive. And we only get so many of them per year, right? Like it's an artisan, it's a limited edition product. So we don't deep discount on them because there's no need to. And I think it's kind of offensive to the blacksmith. I'm like, hey, 50% off your hard work. Woo. So we don't like to do that, and it doesn't work for us. But with Kent of Inglewood, where we sell things like, hand cream and stuff like that, we are looking at a Black Friday thing. We haven't planned it exactly yet, but we are going to be doing there. But since Black Friday is new to us, we don't really know what to do. But we think we should do something there. So it's not exactly true that we don't. We just haven't yet. But we will be doing something with Kent this time.
And honestly, for the Kevins out there, for the Jolene who asked the question about not hurting the brand, you know what? The Black Friday offer does not need to always be a discount. You know what's one of the most the hottest offers right now over Black Friday is like a gift with purchase. Yeah. Like what if you so we don't want to like offend the blacksmith who handmade your knife. But what if anybody who bought a knife during that Black Friday weekend also got like one free course through your YouTube like knife mastery course?
I love that.
Right?
Because the ideas that we've been throwing around with Kent of Inglewood is like a gift, like you said, or we've also thought of just kind of bringing a social element into it instead, right? And say, for every $10 you spend here, we're going to donate something to this group that we really like. Because
no, sorry, go ahead.
I think that speaks more to our brand than having deep discount.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the like philanthropy, I think I can't quite pronounce the word, but that route is it is becoming more popular actually. Quite a lot. I see a lot of brands doing that now. Instead of doing like these deep discounts on Black Friday, they'll donate a portion of their Black Friday sales to a cause that aligns with their brand and their values. Yeah. So there's options out there in terms of what you do for the holidays.
Yeah, and I really like that angle a lot actually, because that's a happier message than cheap, 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 I think.
No, and it's like, especially when you have like a higher ticket limited edition item that was handmade from a blacksmith in Japan, that's obviously got to protect the pricing and integrity on that.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, hey, buy a knife during Black Friday and you're going to get access to like a really small group of people who's going to do this online virtual knife sharpening thing together. That sounds pretty cool.
I like that. that might happen.
Also, for these things that you're kind of like, promoting, not on specifically like Black Friday, but like either after it or prior to, your competition in terms of advertisements is also limited, and your advertising spend is a lot less because BFCM season is when your advertisements
the
cost
the pricing's insane for that. I remember like last year we were seriously looking at it, and just the price of ads was enough to just put us off. It was just shocking. And it really made it. So last year at Kentavingo, we didn't do a Black Friday, but we did I went out and cut down a Christmas. I got a license to go and cut a tree. So we made a video of us driving out in this terrible truck I have, cutting down a Christmas tree and dragging it back. And then we had a party. We had all the people. We had a bunch of we had a customer appreciation party that night. And then Nathan and I walked in the middle of the party with a Christmas tree that we just cut down, plopped it in the middle of the room, and asked the customers to help us decorate it. And it was such a fun event.
It was a
were you there?
Packed house. Yeah, I was there. Now that you've switched locations, I mean, once we do get back into just real world stuff, it's going to be even more packed.
I know, but that was super fun, right? And it was just an event that we didn't have a sale. It wasn't anything like that, but it was a great kickoff to the season. And did you help decorate our tree? Did you put something on it? Okay,
yeah,
thanks.
And I also had a cocktail, and I also had some ham.
Oh, perfect. So successful day.
And now you're a lifelong customer, maybe.
Kevin, I was going to ask you, in terms of marketing strategies, which ones do you typically what would you say you leverage the most? Is it ads? Is it creating great content? Is it emails? Is it coming up with, these cool ideas? What would you say works best for you?
For online, our biggest levers that we pull are emails. Email is strong, and content marketing. So we've created a lot of content, especially with when the shops were closed. We had some time on our hands to build some stuff and get some new skills. So we started Knifeware started a YouTube channel, and you can go and see some crazy videos that are very amateurish, some of them, and some of them are much better. But we like to create content like that, and content, emails, and then that's probably our two biggest levers.
You're mirroring the experience. Like if you can't get in person and put a decoration on a Christmas tree and have a ham and a cocktail, how do we experience your brand online similarly? And you're doing it through content, it sounds like.
We're trying. Yeah, we're leveraging videos and blogs pretty hard. So we're just creating a lot of things and live events.
And then for your email strategy, I'm curious, do you kind of send the same thing to everyone? Do you segment your list and send something different to, your VIPs, let's say, or something like that?
Yes and yes. So we do both. We have standard emails that go out to everybody, especially if it's an invite to a party or something like that. Those go out to everybody. But then they are fine tuned as well. And we've got, like I said, Yotpo helps us with that, and the other one. And the other one. Oh, I'm on the spot. Anyway, we send out targeted things, right? It's like, hey, you've bought this knife and this knife, so you're probably interested in this or this product or something like that. I know with Kentavingo, we're still doing it. If you just sign up for our email list, the first thing you get is we send you a video of Nathan, who's got a beautiful big curly mustache. And he's got a bottle of champagne, and he knocks the top of it off with a saber. And it just says, "Thanks for joining." So we just get a little video of somebody opening a champagne bottle in a very unique and fun way, right? I know if you sign up with Knifeware, we send you a link to our film that we made. And it's just a fun way to kind of, we just want to keep, I was going to say we just want to keep touching our customers, but that sounds weird. But we want to keep a relationship or a conversation going with our customers.
Impacting their hearts. that another way of saying touching?
No, we have one blacksmith that on the screen, it was great on the video. He said, I just want my knife to touch people's hearts. I was like,
with any other product that might have worked with any other
very
product.
bad phrase. Don't say that.
Yeah, I think like the one thing that was standing out, Yvonne and I were talking about your strategy, and we're like, that's really cool. Like, you're not doing the complete Black Friday thing, but you still have the strategy in place to get the early customers through the door who can become lifetime customers. But I think like that strategy might work really well in today's climate. Like a lot of people are consuming online content and online experiences more today. Are you anticipating like a bigger uptake in your 8-hour live stream this year? Have you even thought about it?
Well, we'll see what happens. We're going to add more to it. We're going to make it more interesting, although people seemed enthralled with it last time. But yeah, we're just going to keep adding to it. We've toyed with the idea of having every day of the sale, which is a week long, every day of the sale, just having a 1-hour time where people can just ask us live questions online. So we've toyed with that, not just the 8-hour one, which is quite a marathon, but then just following up on Tuesday at noon for an hour and Wednesday at 1 for an hour.
This would be a good time to mention that if anybody has any questions right now, we're willing to take them at any time. So you can hop them either into the Q&A or directly into the live chat. If you want to hop in, we can unmute you if you're feeling really brave and wanting to chat with anyone here. But we'll keep going. But if you have any questions, pop them in there and we'll be answering them. I think the other thing I was going to talk about in today's climate, like remember I was talking about the gift with purchase. I just had another idea where it was like buy the knife and maybe you get like some little experience with your whole family over the holidays where it's like you win a package where we do this like chef tutorial and we send you some things to cut in the mail and like, there could be
that would be fun, like a cut, like because we called it cut like a chef program or class. We could do it live and you could be at home following along. Oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah,
you're
and
hired,
like,
Scott. You're hired. Thank you.
Well, one of the things we've seen, like we're researchers. We like research all the Black Friday things. We talk to merchants all over the world, and everybody's talking about gift with purchase because in today's climate, especially here in Alberta, as we've alluded to, we don't all have all this extra cash flow to like buy everybody gifts. But when you buy something with a gift of purchase, it's like 2 birds in 1 stone, or like 5 birds in 1 stone. If you can like buy a knife and get like 5 people in a group as an experience, that could be like a really good way to like keep that gift of giving going with like a bigger bang for your buck.
That's super fun. I love that. I love that.
I feel like I could take one of those like cutting classes. I cut like an amateur.
Oh, we can fix that.
It's embarrassing. It takes me forever to cut an onion because I don't know how to do it.
Oh, yeah,
we just did it. We just go to our YouTube. We just did a video where you learn to cut an onion.
Excellent. I'm gonna be bumping up those views for you there because I need to learn that.
Perfect. And it's our manager from the Ottawa store, and he's actually a chef instructor at the local cooking school there too. So he's very gentle and he's got a very nice way of just walking you through how to cut an onion, and at the end you feel super confident. And I think he takes a bite out of an onion at some point. It's very terrible.
Before Gangnam Style and Justin Bieber blew up to like billions of views on YouTube, that I think at one time it was the most viewed video on YouTube for a very long time, and it was the first one I think don't quote me on that, but to reach 1 billion. It was somebody making Play-Doh sculptures with their hands, and you couldn't even see him. It was just kind of like this. Really? And this is a marketing concept we call operational transparency, where people just like seeing things get built. And I think that like just that, there's probably a really emotional experience as a viewer watching that onion just get sliced so beautifully.
All right.
It touches your heart, Scott.
Yeah, it's touching my heart. The knife is touching my heart, and I'm just hearing. I think I'm hearing a lot of brilliant ideas coming out of you, Kevin, that maybe are just like natural for you, and you're not giving it too much overthinking.
Was that a question?
That was a comment. You just nod your head and say, yes, I've been brilliant.
So brilliant. I've never made a mistake.
One thing, so this probably isn't like, BFCM or sales season, like, related, but one thing that's kind of an extension of your store is actually your book. How did something like that come along?
Yeah, I wrote a book about Japanese kitchen knives because we have, I think a big part of our job is to entertain and educate and use enthusiasm at our shops, right? And so many people have so many questions, and there's not really any, there's knife books out there, but they're so boring. God, they would take this beautiful knife and reduce it to, the spine is this width, and the distal taper brings it down to this width here. And it weighs this many grams, and it's this many centimeters long, and it's like so boring. So I wanted to tell the story of our blacksmiths, which is much more interesting. And we also wanted a section about how to sharpen a knife and how to use it and how to choose knives. So basically, we took probably our top 20 questions that we get asked at the shops every day, and kind of answered them. But we tried to make it entertaining, and the photos. The words are terrible. I wrote them, but the photos are great. The photos are outstanding. I didn't do them. Visty Care did them. He killed it.
Where is your book available?
Amazon, bookstores, like Chapters, things like that.
Knifeware.com.
Knifeware.com.
Yeah.
Kevin, did you write the book because you just love it? Or did you have any like marketing motive behind that as well?
I'm like the biggest cheerleader for our blacksmiths. Like I'm a fan, right? I'm a fan. So I kind of really wrote it from that point of view. I just wanted to share and kind of, a lot of us think that they're rock stars, right? Here, I got something to show you here to explain this, I think, better. After they get a piece of steel, start hammering it, and knives start kind of in this kind of rough shape, and they just continue working them until they make something like this. And I love the skill, and I love the dedication to craftsmanship, and I love using them. So I'm just a fan. I wrote the book as a fan, to be honest, and just saying, it's kind of wanted some of these guys to feel like rock stars, like kind of show you how I think these guys are rock stars. Like we should be like looking at them and go, wow, this is really cool what they do.
I always talk to, like, I'm hearing from people from Shopify. I hope Varun's nodding his head with this next comment here, but like brands that are doing really well are authentic. Like authenticity and storytelling has to be at like the core root of your business. And you are just oozing with authenticity and storytelling. And like a lot of people write, because we all, like in marketing, we know that if you publish a book, usually the intent is to like build your authority in that subject matter. But if you're just doing it out of like to celebrate the blacksmiths, that's super authentic. And I think that in itself is like a story, is that this guy just loves sharp things.
Yeah, it's an unhealthy obsession. Like if I showed you the stack of knives here beside my desk that are just like piled up in boxes and stuff, it's not good. It's not a healthy amount.
How many knives do you have?
Lots.
And you use all of them for like different purposes?
Oh God, no! Some of them just are museum pieces. I just custom ordered 4 knives last month, just for different things, because some blacksmiths are getting old and they're retiring. So I wanted something special or another piece from them. So like I don't need any more knives, but it doesn't stop me at all. Like I said, I'm a big fan. So
Kevin, do you want to like? We'll have to. Can somebody put Kevin's URL into the chat there? We're getting it's getting close to wrap up time here. But before we do, I just Kevin, like I said, you got an authentic approach to business. I think it sounds like it's been doing really well for you. You're not bandwagoning off the big sales, but you're still doing a lot of the right strategies. You're building that pipeline early into the season. You're sharing a lot of experiences, and you're publishing books and stuff. So big thumbs up. Sounds like you're doing some awesome things.
Thanks, man.
Any last words?
So
for
just
just
a quick word on you saying that the words aren't that great because they're from you, but I think that's the most authentic voice, especially for selling kitchen knives. So even for like ad content, we generally try to teach come from an authentic place, know who you're selling to, and in this case you're selling to yourself because you're probably your biggest customer.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. So we've made a rule now with the garage stuff, because we get a lot of one-of-a-kinds and a lot of really special stuff. Like the garage stuff, we've got like the dent and nick stuff. We've also got these really one-of-a-kind stuff. So garage sale probably wasn't the best name for it, but that's what it is now. But we've got a rule now that none of the staff and myself, none of us are allowed to buy anything until the first day is over, because we are all quite fans and we would just snap up all the best stuff. So we're not allowed to do that anymore. So I don't know why.
Sounds like it. Yeah, no, it sounds like good. That's usually how it is in a lot of like boutique clothing stores too, because the people that work there are the biggest fans and they want to snag all the good sizes. All right, well, we're wrapping up here, everyone. And Kevin, thank you so much. That was really valuable. I'm going to be taking that into consideration as we think about our Black Friday campaigns, is like live events. That was a really big, huge takeaway for us. So thank you so much. And Varun, thank you so much for participating. I know that we will see you again really soon. Everybody, next week, we're going to be doing this again at the same time. It's going to be at noon Mountain Standard Time next Friday. And we have, I believe it's ShipStation. ShipStation is going to be joining us for a conversation all about planning your inventory and shipping calendar and strategies over the holiday season, which we know is a very important topic, which is why we wanted to talk about it really early on in the season. And of course, if you're not already in the Merchant Mastery Facebook group, it is facebook.com/groups/Merchant Mastery. We're going to make sure we invite Kevin in there. Varun's already in there. So if you have any questions for anybody, we can carry the conversation there. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. And yeah, thanks, Lauren. Said loved it. Thanks, Scott and Ivana. Have a great weekend. Everybody, have a great weekend. And we'll see you again really soon.
Thank you so much. That was great. Cheers.
Bye.